William Collins presents A Day Like Today, Memoirs, written and read by John Humphrys.
The first time I was asked to write a book about the Today programme and my part in it, I'd only been on the programme for about 20 years, only 20 years. And I kept saying no, kept putting it off. And finally I've done it. And I'm really glad I have, because it's extraordinary how much you learn, I was going to say, about yourself when you write what is sort of an autobiography, though we call them memoirs these days, don't we? But this is a combination, really, of my own background, how I grew up, where I grew up, and the programme itself, the Today programme itself. And I've always been suspicious of authority in all its many guises. I think that's essential for all journalists, to be honest. I think if authority says this or that or the other, we have to challenge it. And writing the book showed me, in a curious sort of way, that it was because of my upbringing. I had to think about my childhood in a way that I think most of us probably don't, unless you're actually going to write a book about it, and then you have to go into it in a wee bit of detail. And in my case, it turned me into the journalist that I became. So this book is partly about me, and it's also, of course, about the job I've done. I'm one of those fortunate people who's had a ringside seat at history, as they say. I've been at some of the great and some of the tragic events that have shaped the world over the last 60 years. That's how long I've been a journalist. And I know it'll sound a little bit strange, but the book taught me something about myself. Obviously, having written it, I'd like to write it all over again, because there are lots of other things I'd like to say as well. But I guess you only get one stab at it, really. Prologue, in which I answer the questions in the way I choose. Good morning. It's 8:10, and I'm John Humphrys. With me, live in the studio, is John Humphrys. It's just been announced that he has finally decided to leave Today after nearly 33 years. Mr. Humphrys, why leave it so long?
Well, as you said, it's been 33 years, and that's...
I know how long it's been, far too long for the tastes of many listeners, some might say. It's because your style of interviewing has long passed its sell-by date, isn't it?
Well, I suppose some people might say that.
You suppose some people might say that. Is it true or not?
I'm not sure it's really up to me to pass judgment on that, because...
What do you mean you're not sure? You either have a view on it or you don't.
Well, I do, but you keep interrupting me, and...
I keep interrupting you. That's a bit rich. Isn't that exactly what you've been doing to your guest on this programme for the past 33 years? And isn't that one of the reasons why the audience has finally had enough of you, not to mention her own bosses?
Oh, I really don't think that's fair. After all, it was only politicians I ever interrupted, and only then if they weren't answering the question.
You mean if they didn't answer your questions in the way you chose?
Again, that's not really fair, because...
Are you seriously suggesting that you didn't approach every political interview with your own views, and if the politician didn't happen to share those views, they were toast? You did your best to cut them off at the knees.
Oh, that's nonsense. The job of the interviewer is to act as devil's advocate, to test the politician's argument.
And to make them look like fools, and to make you look clever. It's just an ego trip, isn't it?
No, and if that were really the case, the politician would refuse to appear on Today, and mostly they don't.
Ah, you say mostly, which is a weasel word if ever I heard one. Isn't it the case that when they do refuse, it's because they know you will deny them the chance to get their message across, because all you want is a shouting match?
Not at all. They're a pretty robust bunch, and I'd like to think they hide from the live microphone because they don't want to be faced with questions that might very well embarrass them if they answer frankly and honestly.
I'm sure that's what you'd like to think, but the facts suggest otherwise, don't they? And when they do try to answer frankly, you either snort with disbelief or try to ridicule them.
Look, I wouldn't deny that I get frustrated when the politician is simply refusing to answer the question. And I'm sure the listeners feel the same. It's my job to ask the questions they want answered. And if the politician refuses to engage or pulls the "I think what people really want to know" trick, then it's true that occasionally I do let my irritation show.
Nonsense. The fact is, you have often been downright rude, and that is simply not acceptable.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?